Everybody, it's Bruno from MB, and I'm super jacked to have the best looking people in the biz. I got to tell you that much. Holy smokes, here I came with an extra shirt.
I was wondering who you're talking about.
Yeah, I got Caitlin and Adam from ENTA Solutions, and I joke around about this all the time, but every time I hear Enter ENTA, I think of, Metallica, Enter Sandman, and you guys close it up. It's really good, but it's great to have you guys. We don't want to waste time because our caption, or whatever you call that, the thumbnail, says the 3 digital content amplification problems in the whole world.
Oh gosh.
And what we mean by that is, you know what? Everybody gets really worked up about, I'm gonna finally, it's kind of like asking a girl out finally, or a guy out, or whatever. And you go up and they go, you know what? Sorry, I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? And you're demoralized. That is kind of how I describe, the first time you get the courage to put a post on LinkedIn or a company page. And people have done it for a while and they kind of go, don't worry, it takes time. I don't believe in that personally, but they make a post and they get nothing. And then they kind of go, hey, did you like my post? Or I didn't see it. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is there are ways to do it, but let's talk about the mistakes and give it a little solutioner.
Totally.
That's a word.
So no, but that's
solutioner, because it's not real. We can't say it is a solution, but it is something that you should consider doing, right? Mm-hmm. So number one, don't feel too bad mistake that everybody makes is.
Well, it's thinking that I would say that there's only one digital marketing strategy. There's multiple strategies, right? And you will need to do multiple strategies overall, right? It's not just ads and it's not just posting, okay? There are multiple strategies and doing them together is actually powerful. There's a time and place for ads. We don't want to say, hey, like never do an ad. No, you'll need an ad one day, right? You want to drive more traffic, you're gonna need an ad. But there is a lot of power in digital presence. And there's codes around that. There's ways to gamify it. Right?
There you go. So what does gamify mean? Because some people throw out that word gamify and gamification, contesting. There are a few words going out these days and people jump on it and I'm like, oh, it's a comma. You put a comma, I get it. No, it's not a comma, it's called comification. Oh my God, But what is gamification? What is that digital media?
Well, I think, gamification, the word probably comes from game theory, which is some super smart, engineering type study or philosophy. But really, when you talk about gamification, you're talking about what motivates people. How do you get people to do what you want them to do? And games are a big part of that. People love playing games. And, if you can create some kind of structure or incentive or game around something, then people will participate in it without realizing that they're actually doing what you want them to do.
At the end of the day, it's motivation.
Motivation.
It's kind of like going up to your kid and saying, hey, do you want to watch, what's the show these days? I used to watch Max and Ruby. I love that show. But you want to watch Max and Ruby, go make your bed. And there you get a point, you get to watch it, right? So it's a reward system.
It's not just a reward system. That's part of it, right? There's got to be incentive to playing the game, but it's also a matter of understanding the system to gain. Okay, so like think of in your business, if you set a KPI, right? We use this one a lot. It's a lot of engineering companies that we work with, right? They use utilization, which is you have to have so many billable hours.
Right.
So what is that? What behavior does that drive? To be efficient? No. Right? It took me 4 hours to do this task, right? Because I've got to be billable.
Right.
I've gamified it. I've gamed the system to win. Right? So it's understanding the system and then what do you got to do to win? And so there's a lot of gamification that needs to happen in your social media presence because how do you get the win? How do you get people to see? How do you get people to engage? How do you get people to like, comment, share?
So that's number one, and it sounds complex, but really is you have to have multiple ways of engaging people.
That's right.
But you also have to figure out what would get them to engage. And one of them is this new thing, not a new thing, it's called gamification, Now, here's something, is that number one thing that I figured out,
Do tell.
I know, no, it's not a good thing,
Oh.
is back in the day when we started this, which it seems like 100 years ago, and it was kind of like, I'm going to post, so Adam, you like and share it, and you like and share it,
Yep.
regardless if you liked it or not. Like, we're being serious and honest, right? There are a lot of people kind of going, they sit in a boardroom, you know, smaller companies, and they have 10 employees, and they go, you better like and share it. Okay, that's a problem in itself, because my personal network is private. What if I don't like it? What if but what if I do? That's another problem. So where I'm getting at is we sit around as small companies, small businesses, and the bigger companies have a bigger problem with this, by the way, because they're bigger. And now so anyways, to play this out, I don't know if any of you guys fell for this, but we tried, and we're like 10 people, 20 people, 30 people in the company. Adam, I just posted this, make sure you like and share it. And you're waiting for it on the feed, and then, you know, your kids call you, Dad, I need you, and like, you were gonna search, you don't have no time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we get another system, right?
Another platform to be on.
Well, not even a platform. At that point, we don't even know what platforms are. You just kind of, because I'm walking through the journey of people that are looking at this, and you guys can help them. That point blank, you guys do a great, amazing job. We engage you guys. So all of a sudden, you kind of go, I'm going to send an email with all the links I posted, and then you click it, like it, share it, click it, like and share it, click it, like and share it. You don't even have time to watch. All I'm saying is that even if I wanted to like and share your stuff, it takes work for me to find it.
Yep.
And that's been a big problem for a lot of companies. So I don't know if that's the number 2 problem, but
It is.
is finding the stuff?
Well, so if you're going to use that technique, that strategy, we talked, number 1 is having a multifaceted strategy. But number 2 is if you're going to use an influencing strategy, which highly recommend, very
A
powerful.
lot of fancy terms. I like that.
You like
Influencing,
that?
yeah.
Influencing strategy?
My term is like, Adam, can you click on it? I call him,
Push the button.
right? Or even worse, you know, my phone doesn't work because I got a flip phone, and I walk and knock on your door and
You
go,
just
Adam,
Morse code?
Morse code, the pigeon.
The pigeon.
And Miranda talks
That's
about the
right.
pigeon all the time. So there you go.
Yeah.
So anyways, the fancy word?
The fancy word. So if you're going to do the influencing strategy, right, which we recommend, it can be very powerful, right? And it's a long vision game. There's tools to help you do that, right? So you can put it all in one spot. You don't need to have, do all, you're right. If you're going to manually do it in the background and try to get a network of people,
It's impossible.
It's impossible because they're not necessarily 4% of your actual network will see something you post.
That's bizarre.
In the newsfeed. It's timing. It's timing, it's relevancy, there's all these algorithmic.
Unless it's elevated by other people sharing, commenting, starting conversations, liking. Right?
So that'll pump it a little bit, right? You get more people seeing it. But on average, when you post 4%, now more engagement, you're right. So this happens. So how do you get people who want to engage, right? And like you said, maybe I don't like your stuff, right? Maybe it doesn't fit
I'm going to lose my
personality,
job if I don't like your stuff, right?
right?
And I don't agree with this on my personal platform. Maybe your wife and kids and girlfriend don't want this on your sharing platform. But so that's the tough part is like, you know, you make a post, you put it up and nothing, crickets. And then all of a sudden you kind of go, you find machinery in the web that gets you all these views and they're all bots. So
What do you do?
what do you do? Big deal, right?
Well,
Sell to a
I
bot?
think this is where we see a lot of frustration because businesses will say, yeah, I've seen, social media, this seems like I can get business doing this, but then they'll dabble, they'll stick their toe in.
There you go.
And once a week we'll do a post. And then the second part that goes with that, usually, I know we were like this when we started, is you're very obsessed with having the perfect post. The writing has to be perfect. The video must be professionally edited. Like it must look like the most amazing thing anyone's ever seen, right? But the reality is documenting what's going on with your life and your business is far more powerful than creating something super professional. Like people are far more interested in who is Bruno as a person and what's he doing lately to solve his problems, that might have the same, versus, hi, I'm Bruno of MegaPixx Media, and now we've got a special presentation, right?
Yeah.
You can have that mix, but
Yeah, I mean, curated content has its time and place for sure, right? But the organic stuff, the stuff that's real, that's what people want to click on. That's what people actually engage with, right? So it comes back to that strategy too, right? What is your content strategy, right? And that's the problem, is people are trying to do this without a strategy, without a plan, without an end game in mind.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Adam, is because, I make no bones about it. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I love working with you guys.
Yeah.
When they kind of go, this network does not endorse, I endorse you guys.
Aw.
Well, I do, because, and this has nothing to do with our other guests, because usually we love them and we endorse them and everything like that. You were a game changer for us, but it's interesting what you said about, it doesn't have to be the most perfect video, presentation, whatever. If it resonates, they'll click on it and you'll get your engagement.
Yeah.
And I'll share 2 quick silly stories. At Christmas, this guy in my office was bugging me about, those panettones, and some of you guys probably saw the stupid.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest video ever.
But how much engagement did it get?
I'm going to tell you something. Just on YouTube, we got I don't know how many tens of thousands.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
And it just struck a chord. And I was just joking around about re-gifting these Italian breads.
Yeah, how to re-gift it.
And it ended up on Instagram and this and that and the other thing. And I'm just like, that video literally took us however long it was to film.
Yeah.
And I got more views on that. And then all of a sudden we have clients, not my clients, but clients rethinking and losing sleep over, buy the boat that I'm selling. It's a beautiful boat and blah, 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 blah. And you got the, what do you call it, Art? And the drones, coming in, and you got all this
amazing footage.
And they get 1 view and they're devastated. And then I kind of turn around, but did the guy buy the boat? Yeah, he bought the boat, but I only got 1 view. What are you worried about? It's like, don't worry about it. The boats cost, what does a boat cost these days, right? $100 million.
I know, we live in Alberta.
I know, isn't that crazy?
But I think that speaks a little bit to vulnerability, right? Like putting your stuff out there, you're kind of opening yourself up to criticism or feedback or whatever. So you got to be prepared to.
And a lot of business owners can't translate how doing this is going to convert sales. I don't get it. I don't get how a video of me talking about my day or my experience or my journey is going to convert sales. They don't understand it and they don't want to do it.
Right.
Fine, fair. Don't pick that off the strategy, but when you eliminate a piece of the strategy, you eliminate some of the power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we get that all the time. Like, I don't see how that converts sales. And I'm like, how many times has somebody connected with you and said something about one of your videos or mine?
Yeah, I meet people usually via LinkedIn, and pre-2020 we'd go for lunch and we'd be talking. I'd never met this person. At the end they'd be like, oh, hey, say hi to Caitlin for me. I'm like, oh, you know Caitlin? Why didn't you say something? Like,
it's a little creepy though if you think about it, but
this is the world we live in.
This is business.
Yeah.
This is
They're
business.
like, oh no, I watched all your videos. And in fact, what we get is our older stuff, the views start going up the more we do it, because people will watch one and then binge watch a whole bunch of them, or at least
that's
parts
right.
of them, right? Because they're like, hey, these guys are kind of funny, or they're kind of cool, or like, I had that same problem, right? And then you're building trust without ever meeting them, and now you meet them and it's like old friends, kind of, right?
Yeah, it was interesting because you were mentioning about meet Caitlin and I'd say hi to Caitlin and stuff like that, and it is insane on brand recognition or personal brand recognition or lack thereof, is because somebody that, and definitely I'm not going to say who it is, they were commenting, they're part of a business network, they were commenting about a certain video that the company had produced. And he said, every time I talk to one of my friends, they say they saw that video. Like, how many times are you going to run it? And I didn't answer because I think I've become way more polite in my life. And I'm just like, that's a problem?
Right?
Like, how is that a problem that it appears everywhere? And he goes, well, after a while, like, it gets kind of tiring. Like, okay, but tell me again what the problem is. It's kind of like Coca-Cola saying, I can only afford one ad on the Super Bowl. If they could afford all the ads, they would buy all the ads. Like, they would maybe show a bit of the football game, because that's a great problem to have, is that
you're everywhere.
You're everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you can get anywhere organically, like you guys teach people how to do.
That's right.
If you can get, everywhere, I'm exaggerating, but if you can be more places than you weren't more often, what's the problem with that?
Yeah. And it's not a matter of like just the placement piece, right? Because I mean, buy an ad, you'll get in front, but do they know you? Do they like you? Do they trust you? I don't work with you because of what your product or service is. I work with you because I like you as a person. And I buy a product because I trust.
Is that why nobody works with me? Sorry. Number 3. Sorry.
But you know what? That's what.
I thought you guys were breaking up with me. What the heck's going on? Sorry.
It's not you, it's me.
It's all me. It's all me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it's true. So the brand awareness piece is huge, and you said it. Like personal brand, people think, oh, I don't need to be on social media. Personal brand is huge. It's huge, and same with company brand, right? And so it's something that you need to embrace, and people want to work with other people that they like. So it makes life fun.
Well, and maybe that's, maybe that's number 3 is this idea of like your company being separated from you personally. Because the reality is company pages get a fraction of the the views and the engagement that you personally. Like my Adam page gets way more engagement than our ENTA page. Right?
I working with you guys, I started doing a lot more studying because I had to catch up because you guys are just too smart. I'm not joking. You guys are engineers, smart. And I found out that people, what's the word? The propensity to, you like that? Woo, nice. It meant something. But to follow a person versus a company has gone down exponentially. So remember when we first started, because I'm old enough to remember, is like, hey, follow Petro-Canada. I can use these terms. I used to work there. So follow Petro-Canada, follow ENTA, follow MegaPixx. You kind of go, yeah, no problem. Now, went down way, 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 way too low, which creates another dilemma, I guess, is that I don't want to be attached to a brand that I don't believe in, personally. But I will tell you something, and this is totally unrehearsed. The one thing I really liked about you guys, so if ever you guys are deciding whether or not to engage with ENTA, click at the bottom, and there's the one thing that really impressed me is that you guys say no to a lot of companies. Yeah. So instead of saying the no part, tell me what the yes would be. Because you engage with us, but I know you guys scratched your heads a few times. But it was kind of like, ooh, and then you met some of our partners and you said, yeah, maybe they have a little bit of hope.
Yeah, okay.
But no, and that's true. Because I know that a lot of people have been referred to you and you kind of go,
you're not ready.
Maybe not. So maybe that's what it is. So what is ready then? What is a yes to you guys?
Well, the first one is profit through purpose, right?
Big for us.
Yeah, 100%. We want to work with people that have.
Well, I donate a shitload of money to my suppliers for no reason. So.
Exactly.
So anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, the belief in something, of making something better and contributing back is really big with us, right? Those kind of people, they're primed because they understand that it's about giving. Okay, and one of the things we'll always say, and especially in social media, give value. Give value to your viewers. And if you're hoarding it, no, they have to pay for that. They have to pay for everything.
Right. You guys are definitely not like that.
No.
Give 10 times before you ask once.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Give 10.
Yeah. And so what else do they have to be? How do you get to a yes to work with you guys?
Number 2, you either want to be the disruptor or you're ready to watch out for that disruptor. Like you understand that disruption is coming, right? And you're ready to stand up to it, or you want to be the disruptor. Then we're ready to talk.
Very good.
And last?
Last is that you believe in engaging your people. Everybody says they do, and everyone reads, Simon Sinek in all the books and everything, but not everybody truly behaves and believes that in the way they act in their business.
And walk the walk.
And if you're running a more of a dollar cents kind of punitive culture, then you won't like our style because we're very much kind of the culture integrated, the people first, the process means shit unless it speaks to your people, that kind of stuff. So,
it sounds like I'm joking around about you guys, but you guys are highly intelligent human beings, right? At the next level. No, and I take that the way you guys want. And I've never ever felt stupid. And none of our group and the people that work through us, they come in, and it's funny because I know you guys are giggling and stuff like that, but when you walk into a room and somebody pretends they're the smartest people in the room, it gets annoying. I think everybody would say that. And when you guys walk, you guys are literally the smartest people in the room 99% of the time. And the other percent of the time, we're just talking about New York Yankees. So, I win
Then
that.
I'm definitely not the
Then you're
smartest
out. Then you're out. But it is true, and I think that's the one thing that I really admire about both of you, is you make really incredibly, seemingly complicated things simpler. And I think it's the process that you guys walk us through. Mm-hmm. So how important is process versus style in this gig?
We went through a journey of our own. When we first started, like our first version of our website has every jargony term and relates to process and quality. It's like this big long list of like all these amazing things. And then slowly over time, we like squish it down and squish it down and squish it down until finally we just like, okay, we're not allowed to say quality. We're not allowed to say process. We're not allowed to say strategy. In fact, deliberately don't say those things when you go in there, right?
Yeah.
And even in the way we were presenting our offers, it used to be, the way we learned as engineers, where it was like, here's all the amazing things we're going to do. Here's the hours. Here's the rate. You can pick it apart if you want. And even that was just confusing people. It was not driving the right behavior. So we just
simplified.
Now, we give it a sexy name. Here's 3 sentences what it's going to do for you. Here's the price. And people are like, okay, sounds great.
That sounds great. We'll take you through the rest of the journey later, piece by piece, right? Mm-hmm. Because that is part of it. Is you overwhelm somebody at the first, and they don't want to engage, right? So don't worry, we'll take you on a journey, and it's gonna be fun.
So I'm going to tell you guys something. Is that this is my kind of avenue to share stupid stories, because
you don't have any of those, do you?
No. But they all make sense, and there's certain things that come to my mind.
Yeah.
When I first kind of met you guys and started working, is that I'll share this in a story. My next 2 neighbors down, his name is Kenny. I love Kenny, and he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Okay, right? And I think you guys know the story.
Yeah.
And we're building fences because it was a new development. And I had just, moved to this new house, and it starts being windy and kind of drizzling. It's getting cold. We got this little section, and he's a carpenter, but he's from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Yeah. I had never met too many people from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. You know what I mean? And where do you meet them? Like, there's only 3 of them. And anyway, and then he's thinking, I go, Kenny, how you finish this fence, right? And because this can't all be serious, but I'm going to get to my point where it is serious, and he goes, well, and he starts thinking, and I don't want to make fun of Kenny, but he's got this unique, he sounds like Harry Neal from Hockey Night in Canada. I go, well, Baba, what a guy's got to do is got to go 3/8 and 4/16, but no, hold on, but the guy, before the guy does that, and the guy's got to, the guy's got to do the guy.
And you're looking around.
And I'm looking around. What guy? It's me and you. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And it caught him that he said what a guy's got to do is just a saying what we need to do.
Right.
And every time I spoke, so I coined this, what guy? Like, this is a half Italian, half Saskatchewan. What guy are you talking about? Yeah. You're talking about me? I don't know how to do this, right? Or I'm stumped. If you better know. So my joke is, or my line is, everybody says what a guy's got to do.
That's right.
But what a guy's got to do is like, who's the guy? And I remember meeting with you guys and kind of thinking, what do you guys do? Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, what guy's going to do that? Because I don't have the time. And the gadgetry, I'm kind of not interested in doing that. I'd rather be doing this. And you guys have become the guy, what the guy's got to do. And you've simplified it in using a process, and your style is unbeatable because you guys are so polite and nice that, if you flip out because something's going on, you kind of come up to me and say, step 2, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Step 3, re-articulate. Like, you guys are so processed, but your style really lends it to be, you guys are our guy. And I know I use that silly story all the time, but I don't know how many people kind of go, all you got to do is build this software or do this funnel we talked about in another episode. Well, okay, who's the guy's going to do that? Because I don't have time. So I think that's one thing that I think that people can really appreciate about you guys doing that. And I know we were talking about gamification. Mm-hmm. I know that you guys are scientifically the mad scientists working on something that's really interesting. And so, I know that you guys are going to launch that pretty soon, and hopefully, you guys want to talk about it a little bit, or?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we have a very exciting launch coming out. We got selected to be the Canadian representative for this amazing platform that simplifies everything with your what do we call it? The influencing strategy.
Beautiful.
Media, right?
So that whole fallacy goes away a little bit, and even people in Moose Jaw can use it.
Even
because you got a guy who's going to do it.
A guy's going to do it for you. Yeah.
You ever been to Moose Jaw?
No.
People usually drive through Moose Jaw.
No.
Yeah.
But the software is called Be Ambassador, and it's really amazing because it allows you to engage everyone in your business to be an ambassador and use the social platforms. And in a way, using the tool, you can spoon feed the content, you can gamify it, you can have incentives. It's basically taking the psychology of how people work and how they operate, and then applying kind of social media tools to it, and that.
It's huge, and people can also keep the personal brand, right? So it's kind of a nice gift when your company does this, because you can schedule your own personal stuff, right? And you can pick content from your company, but you don't have to, right?
So it's a bit of a game changer.
It's a game changer, right? Because then you can gamify, and it has a built-in incentive.
Yeah, no pun intended. It's a game changer because you can do it.
Yeah, but you can incentivize them, right? So that they want to contribute. They want to be a part of what it is your business is doing, and you pair that with a great culture and team building stuff. Man, everybody's amped up to promote your own business.
You know what? Congratulations! I know that was a big thing for you guys. That was been held in suspense.
We're very excited because we're excited just to use it for ourselves, right? And our network and be able to say, okay, this is one less thing we have to do manually.
So I guess the being selected, and absolutely no offense, you guys aren't IBM. You're not a huge company. So that must have been a rigorous process, pretty stressful, like contacting people, presentations, and all that kind of stuff. So, congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to try it. So and work on it. So, So thanks again for that. This has been awesome. You got it.
Thanks.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want someone to be our next guest, simple. Click below in the description and we'll get in touch with them. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and you'll never, ever miss another episode.